AITA for telling my nephew why he can't come to my house after school anymore? My nephew is 14. He lives with my brother, his dad, his stepmom, his stepbrother who is 11 and his half-sister who is 2. My brother's first wife died 5 years ago. My brother remarried last year but has been with my current SIL for the last 3 years. My nephew gets along really well with my 13-year-old son and 15-year-old daughter and they hang out together a lot at my house. My brother never minded before, but recently decided that since my nephew doesn't consider his stepbrother and half-sister his siblings, that more time needs to be put into them spending together and he wanted me to be the bad guy and tell my nephew he's no longer welcome after school. I told my brother I wasn't going to take the blame and he needs to talk to nephew if he wants to make things work. My brother said it would be better coming from me but I didn't go along with it. So my brother told him I had said he wasn't welcome anymore. Nephew came to me and I was honest that his dad wants him to spend more time with his stepbrother and half-sister. These are the terms my nephew uses. And so has decided he shouldn't spend time at my house anymore. My nephew is pissed at his dad and told him taking away the people he wants to spend time with isn't going to make him want the other two more than he does. He said he's not going to run to bond with them because he doesn't have his cousins. He'll just do other stuff. My brother is annoyed that I told my nephew the truth. He said I had no right to undermine him and hurt their relationship by making nephew dislike him. I told him he did it himself. But when he said it wasn't my place, something stuck. So AITA? NTA. Your brother wanted your nephew to dislike you. So my brother told him I had said he wasn't welcome anymore. I wish him good luck with lying and forcing the families to become one. NTA. Your brother wanted you to be the fall guy so he could preserve what relationship he had with this child, at the expense of your relationship with the child. If I were you, I would have done the same thing. He hurt his relationship with his son by lying to him. And who knows what else. You did the right thing by talking to him like a person and telling him the truth. He needs someone to trust. Hopefully your brother can figure out how to communicate with his son better. NTA. Children, especially teens, shouldn't be forced to spend time with people they don't want to spend time with nor denied time with the people they want to be around, unless the latter are negative influences in a significant way, drugs, unsafe sexual experimentation, bullying, etc. Your brother would have been better off being honest with his son and finding a balance. Playing you off as ta as a move. NTA. Sounds like another case of father neglecting his original child for his new family and trying to make it work. This is just going to make him resentful and hate his half-siblings more. You did nothing wrong by not taking the blame. Your nephew would have felt even more rejected if his safe space. You rejected him too. I am worried about his mental health. I can imagine how his dad is at home. Father and son need therapy. You should tell your brother. He might be in danger of losing his son. But then he might blow up at you for that. Just be there for your nephew. And really listen to him. Be ready. Sigh. Wow. Your brother sucks. He would rather have you being the villain than doing his parenting job. NTA. Of course. NTA. Your brother wants to take away one of the places your nephew feels loved, accepted, and like family. And he wants you to make him feel like it's because he's not as loved and wanted as he thought. I'm glad you didn't follow along. 5 years is a remarkably short time to have to come to terms with the loss of a parent and the addition of a new parental figure and siblings. Especially as a child, teen. Forcing him to spend time with his new siblings is going to make him resent them even more than he might already. If you do want to help him and step-bro bond, maybe invite him along to stuff too. Maybe hanging out occasionally with a similarly aged buffer could help. You're not the asshole. Your brother undermined his relationship with his son by trying to sever ties with family he enjoys spending time with, and then lying on top of that. As they say, honesty is the best policy. And I think you did nothing wrong by refusing to lie. You were upfront with your brother that you did not want to lie. And you didn't lie. Sure, I can understand that your brother would want to try to build the relationship between his son and his son's stepbrother and half-sister. But lying and trying to undermine his son's relationships with his cousins isn't the way to do it. These things also can't be forced. He's just gotta give his son time to adjust to these new relationships. He might be still grieving over his mom, and is struggling to adapt to this new family. NTA. Your brother, on the other hand, is an and a bad parent, and a wuss. He needs to man up and stop caring whether or not his son likes him. If he makes a decision, he needs to own it and not blame someone else. Imagine thinking that the correct approach to get something that you want is to convince your child that someone who he loves and respects and believes had reciprocal feelings no longer cares for him. What an immensely cowardly and foolish thing. If that's your brother's approach here, I'm certain it's his approach elsewhere as well, in which case that's a doomed relationship. NTA, and likely a much-needed stabilizing and trusted, now more than ever, force in your nephew's life. NTA. It seems like your brother wanted to make you the bad guy. Damage your relationship with your nephew. And somehow that would magically make him love his stepbrother and half-sister. Absolutely NTA. You're teaching your nephew and brother the right way to go about these situations with honesty and communication. Your brother seriously needs to put himself in his son's shoes and understand why he wants to hang out with his cousins. Your brother is very wrong for trying to force a relationship for his son. Then, he doubles down, attempting to use you as a scapegoat for his horrible idea because he knew it was wrong and would negatively affect your nephew. NTA. Your brother asked you to lie for him. You said no thank you. He lied to his son. You refused to cover up his lie, which is exactly what you told him you would do. Your nephew is right. Relationships can't be forced, especially not when based on a lie. Of course he wants to come to your house. There is no toddler there, and his cousins are closer to his age than the stepbrother. If you wanted to be nice, you could invite the stepbrother sometimes and see how that goes. He lied to the kid about you. It was your place to tell him the truth. Your brother was being a coward. If he's going to pass an edict like that, he should at least have the balls to say it's his decision. You aren't damaging his relationship with his son. He is. He can't force the kids to bond. People can't be forced to feel things they don't feel, and it's normal that he'd want to spend time with people closer to his age. There may only be a 3-year difference between your nephew and his stepbrother, but there's a world of difference between 14 and 11. And as for his relationship with his half-sibling, what's a 14-year-old supposed to do with a toddler? I know your brother's heart is probably in the right place and he wants all his kids to be close. But he's going about it the wrong way. NTA. NTA at all. You were honest with your nephew. He deserves honesty. If his dad is gonna make big boy calls, he needs to have the big boy balls to make the call himself, and not middle manager that shit down to you. NTA. At 14 he's more than capable of deciding what company he wants to be around. Dad should find better ways of making them bond than letting you take the blame and make you the bad guy. He's taking the line of least resistance. Quite stupid and childish. Maybe your brother shouldn't be a liar, and then he won't ruin his own relationship with his son. NTA. NTA. Your brother needs to rethink his approach. He has broken trust with his son, aimed to remove a safe and welcoming space for him, and attempted to make you the bad guy. Love and bonds can't be forced. He needs to look at what the experience is, and how that can be improved so his son will want to engage. NTA. Your brother made it your place when he involved you in a lie you did not consent to. NTA. Your brother should have been honest with your nephew and not used the situation to try and turn him against you. You had every right to undermine him when he's saying things about you that aren't true, especially when they're hurtful to your nephew. No one wants to be told they're not welcome somewhere, especially somewhere they enjoy being with people that love them. Even if you had gone along with your brother, it wouldn't have made him closer to his stepfamily. He clearly doesn't want that. It just would have separated him from the people he wants to be with.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.